Hey, what is up, y'all? It's your favorite winged animal Dak, also known as the SJSU Duck. Welcome to today's special episode. I know I just uploaded Duck Pond episode 3 2 days ago, but yesterday a key event took place that I totally forgot was on the table for this month. Enough yapping for me, let's get into Duck Pond episode 3.5 and get into the signing day special. Before I get into this video, I'd first like to say thanks for getting me to 200 followers on Twitter and 300 on Instagram. My pages are growing every single day thanks to y'all, and hopefully that means interest in the athletic program is rising as well. I appreciate all of your support, and hopefully I catch you all at future Spartan games. If you're a fan of Spartan athletics or just simply a supporter of a team in the Mountain West, hit that subscribe button as I plan to continue making episodes like this in the future. For those of you who have not watched the early signing day special yet, aka Duck Pond episode 1, I highly recommend viewing that video first as I analyze the film and stats of all 17 of our new December editions. For today's episode, I will be formatting the script the exact same way as I did in that episode, so let's jump right in. Starting off with the earliest commit of this late window, I'll be introducing you to 6'2", 210-pound two-star linebacker, Jordan Pollard. Last episode I went over his strengths and the type of player you should expect, so I will basically repeat everything that I said about him earlier. He attended Faith Lutheran High School in Las Vegas, Nevada, and in his film he showcased skills such as his quickness off the ball and his ability to shed run blockers in order to make tackles. He was also showcased on the offensive side of the ball as he also played receiver for his team. He has great elusiveness and a surprising combination of speed and strength. It's highly likely that we'll see him primarily on the defensive side of the ball as he was recruited to come to town by linebacker coach Scott White. Featuring in 8 of his team's 9 games in his fall senior season, Pollard collected 114 total tackles with 19 of them being for loss. This all accounts to 14.3 tackles per game. On the defensive side of the ball, he also collected a sack, an interception, and a blocked punt to go with his impressive tally. On top of that, he also returned kicks for Faith Lutheran as he collected 12 total kickoffs for 308 yards, with one of them being an 85-yard score. This performance obviously landed him a spot on the first team All-5A Southern Mountain League team as an outside linebacker. Last episode I compared him to fellow class of 2022 commit Justin Stearns due to his quickness and his pass coverage ability, but after watching more film, I feel like he falls right in between Stearns and Damani Perkins as he shares skill sets for both players. Let's welcome Jordan to the Spartan family. Up next, we have 3-star 6'2", 200-pound wide receiver, Cieonta Davis. Attending Dominguez High School in Compton, California, Davis was an absolute beast. In his senior season, Cieonta caught 29 balls for 625 yards and 8 touchdowns. In his film, his team utilized his open field speed as he was frequently seen catching screens and taking them the distance. This is something to note considering that once he's in the open field, good luck catching him because the man's got wheels. His shiftiness is also something to look out for as there were many occasions where he caught the ball in traffic, then used his shiftiness and speed to gain an extra 20 or so yards. Surprisingly, Cieonta also played on the defensive side of the ball as he featured in a couple of games as an edge rusher. On the defensive line, Davis collected 41 total tackles, good enough for 5th most on the team, and also collected 7 sacks, which was 2nd most on the team. Just like in his offensive highlights, his quickness and shiftiness were made apparent as he just seemed like a cheat code whenever he was out on the field. Although he doesn't have a 247 composite rating, his regular 247 sports rating of an 85 would make him the 2nd highest rated incoming freshman, trailing only Jacob Galloway, which I covered in the last video. Hopefully he's ready for big minutes when he arrives on campus, as his film just made it seem like he was a man amongst boys each time he stepped onto the field. Welcome to Spartan Nation, Cieonta. Next on the list, we have a 3-star interior defensive lineman at a Southern California powerhouse St. John Bosco by the name of Jairus Satele. Standing at 6 feet tall and weighing 297 pounds, Jairus will be a big addition to this defensive line. In his senior season, Jairus featured in 11 games, being 2nd in the team for total tackles with 84, and 14 of them were for loss. He also collected 4.5 sacks along with a forced fumble. His incredible contributions earned him a spot on the SBLive.com First Team All-State team, along with an appearance on the First Team All-CIF Southern section for Division 1. I only went through about 2.5 minutes of this guy's film and I'm already impressed. Watching him fire off the ball and push linemen of his size into the lap of the quarterback was not a rare occurrence as he's an absolute beast. He's got great footwork and his strength is absolutely absurd. One thing I also took note of is his hands, as he already has a good amount of pass rush moves in his disposal. His film also showcases his discipline, as he understands his gaps and was not really easily faked out on whenever a quarterback ran a read play on him. I can't wait to see how much more stronger he'll get inside of a D1 weight room, as he already looked so dominant on the field. I can definitely see him being used in a short yard defensive situation or in any type of goal line formation. Hopefully he can prove me wrong and become a play every down type of guy, as I'm definitely excited to see how much havoc he brings onto this defensive line. Anyways, let's welcome Jairus Satele into Spartan Nation. Heading back over to the offensive side of the ball, we have a 6'3" pro-style quarterback out of Capital Christian High School in Sacramento by the name of Anthony Garcia. In his 10-game senior year, Garcia collected 2,689 passing yards on 146 completions. He also collected 34 touchdowns and only threw 4 interceptions, en route to collecting the Capital Athletic League's Most Valuable Player award. He also proved effective on the ground, as on 64 attempts, he collected 553 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns. Just looking at those rushing stats, I was honestly shocked that 247 Sports listed him as a pro-style quarterback rather than a dual threat, but after watching his film, I understood why. Anthony Garcia has an absolute cannon for an arm, and he hits his targets in stride more often than not. His deep ball accuracy is incredible, and I love how he moves around constantly in the pocket in order to buy more time for himself and his receivers. Plus, he is much quicker than I thought, as once he goes through all of his reads or finds a gap in the defense, he's a dangerous runner in the open field. I can't wait to see how he develops once he gets onto campus, so welcome to the Spartans, Anthony. Before I get into the last signee, I would first like to address the elephant in the room. As much as I hate to do comparisons, I feel like I have to do this in order to show you our quarterback room for next season. Since I think it would be unfair to compare him against college-tested quarterbacks like Nick Nash, Javon Cordero, Walker Eaget, Matt Dertarosian, and Natano Woods, I will pit him up against fellow incoming freshman Tyler Voss. Their builds are similar. In fact, their measurements are both identical, as they both are 6'3", 185. Their playstyles compare pretty well too, as they are both pro-style quarterbacks with strong arms. Anthony Garcia is definitely the shiftier out of the two, as he is a bigger threat when escaping the pocket. Tyler Voss, however, seems to have a more refined throwing motion, and his release seems much more smoother. Although Voss only played in 3 games compared to Garcia's 10, he still managed to get a higher rating on 247 Sports, with him being ranked the 89th best quarterback and Garcia not being too far behind at number 96. I don't want to make any assumptions on how this quarterback battle will go, as I think both kids are very talented, so I'll keep my mouth shut as of now. Hopefully once we get deeper into the offseason, I can update you all on how the quarterback situation pans out, with 7 quarterbacks now on the roster. Anyway, let's get moving to the last signee of the day. Last and certainly not least, we have 6'2", 200-pound junior college defensive back, Jaylan Lawson. Originally from New Jersey, Lawson attended South Brunswick High School in Monmouth Junction, New Jersey. After graduating, he went 2 hours away to Albright College in Pennsylvania to play defensive back and kick returner. After featuring in 10 games and having productive 69 tackles over 2 seasons, Lawson packed his bags and moved out west to Bakersfield Junior College for the 2021 season. In this season, Lawson collected 46 tackles along with 1 interception and 4 pass breakups. Based on the limited amount of film I have, the lone conclusion I can come up with is that he's a quick, hard-hitting safety that does well in run support. Unfortunately, I can't locate any of his JUCO film, so I'll just take the Spartan website's word for it. Anyway, let's all welcome Jaylan Lawson to the Spartan family. And breathe. That's all I have for you today, as these players will be added onto the previous 17 in joining the San Jose State 2022 recruiting class. My sources for today's video are of course the wonderful Spartan community on 247sports.com, Max Preps, Huddle, and of course the official SJSU Athletics website. If I missed out on something, or if you would like to know more about something I brought up in today's episode, please leave a comment or DM me on any of the social media platforms I have listed in the description. This episode took about 2 hours of research, 1 hour of recording, and 1 hour of editing, so I would really appreciate it if you liked, commented on, or shared this video, as well as hitting that subscribe button for future uploads. Stay blessed, everyone. This is Dak, also known as the SJSU Duck, signing off from the pond. See you in the next one. Spartan up and get that bread.